The man didn't stop shaking. He was crouched under the bridge, holding his knees to his chest, teeth clattering like stones. But what made my stomach twist wasn't the cold. It was the logo stitched inside the jacket I had just handed him. That was my father's jacket, the one he wore the day he disappeared. My name is Tomalola. I'm 13. And most nights, I sleep under the third mainland bridge in Lagos with one eye open. I haven't bathed in 2 weeks. My socks don't match. My braids are undone. And my belly sounds like it's chewing itself from the inside. They call me veteran, not because I'm old or tough, but because I've survived things on these streets that would break most grown men. Things like hunger, like watching someone get stabbed over a sachet of water, like burying my mother with my bare hands in the bush behind the bus depot. They said my mama died from the cold, but I think it was the hunger that killed her first. She stopped eating before me, gave me all the little beans we begged from the roadside woman. She smiled while her own ribs poked out of her skin like broken wood. One morning, I woke up beside her under the bridge at Oshodi, and her body was stiff, eyes still open, as if she were still waiting for something that never came. I didn't cry, not because I wasn't sad, but because I was already dry inside, like the tears had been used up long ago. Some boys helped me wrap her with the wrapper she always tied when she went to clean people's shops. We carried her to the back of a kiki. I remember the kiki man cursing, saying we'd stain his seat. He didn't know that was the last time I'd ever be close to someone who truly loved me. That was a year ago, or maybe more. I stopped counting days after that. Before everything broke, we lived in a one-room face-me-I-face-you at Ilasa. I used to come back from school and run into Mama's arms. She smelled like omo and fried fish. My school uniform was small, torn at the armpit, but Mama always made sure it was clean. My papa died when I was 9. I didn't understand what a building collapse was at the time. All I knew was that he went to work on Monday and never came back. They said he was a site supervisor. He built big things with cement and iron. But something cracked one day, and part of the building fell on his head. I recall the man in a suit who visited our compound 3 days later. He came in a black car. He brought one envelope. Mama opened it and just stared. She didn't speak to me that whole evening. Later, I heard her crying in the bathroom, whispering, "So this is all they gave for his blood?" That night, she gave me the jacket. "Your papa wore this every day on site," she said. It was big, faded, with a small logo stitched on the chest, Solid Rock Structures Limited. I didn't understand what it meant, but I kept it. After Papa died, things got worse. Rent became a problem. Mama's cleaning jobs weren't enough. Sometimes she came back with bruises on her wrist and lied that she slipped while mopping. I never asked questions. I just helped her soak her feet and warm the leftover pop. When they threw us out, we went to sleep under the bridge. At first, I thought it was temporary, that someone would help us, but no one did. The people who passed us every morning looked away, even the ones that wore church uniforms. Mama used to sing for me every night, even on the street, but her voice got weaker. One day, she just hummed. Next, she was gone. After she died, I tried to stay close to where she was buried. I don't know the exact spot, but I remember the tree. The one with the carving that looked like a face. I sat there every evening, watching buses pass, hoping maybe God would enter one and come down to help me. I stopped wearing the yellow dress I had been wearing. It was too dirty. I wore my papa's jacket every day, even when it was hot. I slept in it, ate in it, fought boys for it. That jacket was mine. One time, a street boy tried to steal it. I woke up to him pulling it off my chest while I slept near the gutter. I bit him, scratched him. He bled. I didn't care. Nobody touches my papa's jacket. They started calling me Jacket Girl after that. I begged for food during the day and fought for space at night. Sometimes I'd sneak behind buka stalls and wait for someone to leave leftovers. One madam once gave me a cold bottle of Coke and a meat pie. I thought she was an angel. Turns out she was just having a birthday celebration for her dog and gave me the leftovers. That night, I held the jacket tight. The cloth still smelled like dust, sweat, and old dreams. But to me, it was home. I had dreams sometimes, weird ones. I was sitting in a tall office with glass everywhere, and my papa was smiling at me from across a big table. He always wore the same jacket, but in the dream, it wasn't torn. It looked new, clean, like it had never touched the ground. I would wake up and feel the roughness of the road again, the sound of Donfo horns, the shouting of Agbaros, the smell of soaked socks and rotten fruit. Reality always hits harder than dreams. One evening, I saw a woman in a kaftan ask her driver to give a boy 500 naira. The boy didn't say thank you. He just ran. I used to judge people like that, but now I understand. When you're empty for too long, kindness feels like a trick. So I stopped expecting anything from anyone. I just wore my jacket, held it like a shield, and survived. Until the night I gave it away. That night, I wasn't planning to do anything special. I was just cold. The harmattan was serious that week. My lips were cracked. My fingers hurt. I saw him sitting near the marina bus stop. His shirt was thin. His shoes were dusty. He looked like someone who used to be somebody. He wasn't begging. He just sat there, rubbing his hands like he was trying to remember who he was. I stood there for a long time, watching him. Then something inside me said, "Give him the jacket." Then I walked up to him, and I did. He didn't even look up at first. After I dropped the jacket on his lap, I stood there for a second, thinking maybe he would say thank you, or something. Nothing, just shaking hands and quiet shivers. His eyes were fixed on the gutter beside him, like he was watching memories flow past with the dirty water. I cleared my throat. "You go freeze like that." His head turned slowly, eyes squinting at me through the dust in the air. He looked confused, like I'd pulled him out of a deep hole in his mind. "What?" he asked. His voice was hoarse, dry, like harmattan breeze. "I say wear 'em now. You dey shake like a generator when no get oil." He looked down at the jacket, like he was just realizing it was there. Then he blinked, touched it gently, ran his fingers across the front, right over the old, faded company logo. For a few seconds, he didn't move. Then his fingers froze. His eyes widened, not big, just enough for me to notice. He looked at me again, properly this time. Where did you get this?" The way he said it made my stomach tighten. I shrugged. "It's mine. Was mine." "Where did you—" I stepped back, suddenly unsure. My jacket was on his lap, but now he was acting as if it were his. Why did he care? He sat up straighter, jacket still in his hands. This logo, solid rock. This company. I tilted my head, watching him. "You know Am?" His mouth opened like he wanted to answer, but the words didn't come out. I scratched my arm. "I don't want it back," I said, suddenly feeling stupid. "I just thought you were cold. It's okay. You can keep it," I said. Then I turned to leave. I didn't like how he was staring. Not the hungry kind of stare I was used to from men. No, this one was stranger, like he was seeing a ghost. "Wait," he called out. I stopped. He stood slowly and wrapped the jacket around himself. It looked too small for him, like someone wearing an old memory. I'm sorry," he said, eyes softer now. "It's just, I know this company. I haven't seen this logo in a long time." I nodded once, keeping my distance. It was my papa's. He died. He went quiet. "Oh," he finally said, and looked away. "I'm sorry." We stood there in silence, both of us, one man wearing a dead man's jacket, and one girl wearing invisible scars. "Are you hungry?" he asked after a while. I narrowed my eyes. "Why?" I have some bread. From earlier, I didn't eat much." He reached into a nylon bag beside him and pulled out a half loaf of bread, still wrapped. He stretched it toward me. His hand shook a little. I walked slowly, took it gently, and stepped back again. "Thank you," I said. He nodded, then sat back down, hugging the jacket to his chest like he had finally stopped feeling cold. I sat on the opposite side of the street, tearing the bread slowly and chewing with small bites so it would last. I kept glancing at him. He didn't look like someone who belonged there. His hair wasn't madman messy, just rough, like he hadn't combed it in days. His trousers weren't torn, just dusty. His shoes looked expensive but scratched up, as if he had walked too far without meaning to. Even the way he sat, legs tight together, elbows on his knees, face buried in his palms. He looked like someone who used to give orders but forgot how. And that jacket, it looked like it remembered him too. I wanted to ask more questions, but I didn't. Because on the streets, too many questions bring trouble. I finished the bread, licked my fingers, and then stood up to start walking. He didn't call me back, but I knew he was still staring. As I turned the corner into the alley behind the buka stalls, I heard his voice again, quiet, like a whisper to himself. Cola's daughter. I stopped in my tracks. Nobody calls my papa that name anymore, not even me. Not since Mama died.